Let's just get right into it and say what everybody's thinking. It doesn't matter how much weight you lift, it's how cool you look doing it. Look at this guy barely repping out 225. Nobody cares. Now take a look at this guy with all the right equipment.
Damn, how much weight is that? You looking strong, bro.
So hot.
Oh my God, can I get your OnlyFans?
I didn't know they made men like that. But how do you know what to get? Well, that's what this video's for. Hey guys, welcome back. Gluck here. Today we're gonna talk about my 7 essential items that every single home gym has to have. It doesn't matter if you wanna be a power lifter, you're a bodybuilder, you're a CrossFit athlete, or anything in between. Whether you're trying to build your strength or work on your physique and your muscle, it does not matter. These are essential items for every single home gym. For each and every item, which we'll cover in order of priority, what I would buy first, what I would buy second, and so on, I will give you a best pick and a budget pick. But it's important to keep in mind, you're gonna wanna buy the best thing you can afford so you're not paying for it twice. Whether that's because it's got a physical toll on your body, because something breaks, or because you're actually buying it twice, which I see time and time again. I have a friend who's bought 3 barbells. He doesn't use the first 2, so he spent $700 getting something he could have gotten for half the price. These are the items you're gonna need to cover all of the major compound lifts, but also give us enough diversity in what we do so that we're being efficient in our time in the gym and we're not getting bored. We're also gonna cover where you can get these things. So for every item, I will give you a link in the description, but realize there's lots of places to get these, which I'll talk about later on. Even during COVID, we still have options. Now let's start with my first item, which is Olympic weight plates. You might be thinking, shouldn't I get a barbell or something first? Well, to me, when I was building my home gym and I was moving places, the only thing I could get to without setting everything up was my weight plates. So if you don't have a full gym, I think the weight plates are the most important because I could do things like squat, bench press, floor press, curls, overhead press, just by holding some 45s or 25s and working through those different ranges of motion. You can do a ton of stuff just having Olympic weight plates. So if I had to have only one item, that's where I would start. When it comes to Olympic weight plates, there is an insane amount of options. And if you want to go into more detail on those things, you can look at my types of plates video, which I'll link here, or however that thing works. Now for this video, we'll do our best and our budget pick for iron plates and for bumper plates, because that's going to cover the vast majority of people. When it comes to a budget iron plate, I'd probably pick a Cap or a Rep Fitness, though I had Rep Fitness plates and I didn't love them, so I did switch them out to my top pick, which would be something like a machined plate, like these Rogue Deep Dish, or something like a Rogue machine plate. And there are other companies, again, in my other video that covers that. When it comes to bumper plates, my budget pick would be something like a Rogue Echo, and my top of the line pick would be something like a Titan Fitness Urethane, even though I technically have Rogue urethanes. They're very similar, so you could go with either of those. Now let's talk about my number 2 option, which would be an Olympic barbell. To me, an Olympic barbell makes a great second choice because it allows us to have a much wider range of motion for our exercises. We can start deadlifting, we can start rowing, we can start curling, and the list goes on and on. It allows us to have progressive overload where you're adding 5 pounds a week or whatever your current training program is telling you to do. Now for my budget pick, I would pick something like the Beast from Cap. At $170, it's about as inexpensive as I would go for an Olympic barbell. Keeping in mind, this thing is really the focus point of everything you do. You're gonna be putting this weight above your body, on your back, above your head, so you don't want something that could break and injure you. For an upgrade from there, I would pick something like a Rogue 2.0, which was actually one of my top picks for barbells. If I were to go a little bit further into the price range, because a 2.0 is about $265 if you get the E-coat before shipping and handling, so you're probably getting close to $300. I would upgrade to an Ohio Power Bar, which I have here, but now you're getting close to the $400 range depending on your finish. But if you want a power bar, to me, this is my number 1 most used bar. Now after a barbell, where I would go is the center point of your entire gym, which is your power rack. The power rack or squat rack, if you decide to go that route, is going to be the centerpiece of your gym. And because of its size and what it does, it's probably gonna be the most expensive thing on this entire list. Now, a good power rack is going to allow you to do a lot more things and allow you to do them safely. So obviously now we can squat. Depending on your system, you might have pull-up bars or variations of pull-up bars, so you can do pull-ups. A good power rack will have holes in the bottom for band pegs so you can do resistance work. maybe you have a landmine. It's gonna have safeties and J-cups, and it could even have storage. So again, that's where some of that price can come in, but a lot of those things are optional. But in a good rack, you wanna make sure it's modular, meaning you can add on things like a dip bar and stuff later on. For my budget pick, I wouldn't go any lower than something like a PR 1100 from Rep Fitness. Now that's a 2x2 design, which is gonna make it a little less stable and not able to hold as much weight. So this right here is a 2x3 design, and I'm still able to move this pretty easily since it's not bolted down. So you can imagine with a 2x2 design, it's gonna be lighter and even easier, and that's something you wanna take into consideration. Now for an upgrade from there, I go to something like the PR 4000 from Rep Fitness, which is gonna be $650 before shipping and handling, but that's a really nice rack with a ton of options for pull-up variations, for safeties, and so on. If you're more of a Rogue person, that means you're gonna go to a Rogue Monster Lite, which is gonna be closer to the $1,000 range, but again, a really nice rack. And from there, we're gonna go to item number 4 on the list, which is your bench. When it comes to benches, you're basically down to 2 options. Do you want a flat bench or an adjustable bench? Now, a flat bench isn't gonna be quite as versatile as an adjustable bench, but it's gonna cost you a lot less money, and you can still do a lot on it. You can even get creative on it. So before I got my adjustable bench, I would incline my flat bench by putting a box underneath it. And even without that, I was able to do variations of bench press. I was able to do flies, Bulgarian split squat, use it as a box for box squats, and the list goes on. My budget pick for a flat bench is the Titan flat bench. At $135 shipped, it's a heck of a bargain, and it's pretty good quality. If you wanted to upgrade from that, my top pick would be the Rep Fitness FB 5000, which is this bench. And if you polled 100 people, 95 out of 100 would probably pick this bench against anything else. It's $179 before shipping and handling, so you're probably pushing a little over $200, which makes it a decent amount more expensive, but still pretty affordable. Now, when it comes to an adjustable bench, and if I had to pick one out of the 2, I would get an adjustable bench. Even though it costs a lot more money, it's gonna give you a lot more options. Obviously, incline curls, incline press, and the list goes on. Now, my budget pick for something like that would be the Fitness Reality Supermax 1000. Though I gotta say, at $105, you're sacrificing quite a bit, because obviously at that price point, they're not gonna have the quality that I feel like you really need for a good adjustable bench, but it does have very good reviews. So really my best budget pick, if you wanna call it a budget pick, would be something like the X-Mark adjustable bench. Now at $360, it's quite a jump from that Fitness Reality bench, but you're gonna get a much better product. And really my top pick, because when I was picking my adjustable bench, I had saved up for a long time because I only wanted to buy once. And I went over a lot of different options, and I picked the Rep Fitness AB 5000, which is this bench right here. This thing is a tank. It should last me forever. My kids are gonna get this thing. It is quite expensive. With shipping, you're talking over $500. Which brings us to our 5th thing on the list, which would be dumbbells. Oh yeah, so the next thing on the list is gonna be dumbbells. Now, dumbbells are really important, which is why they're so high on the list, because they're gonna give you a huge range of exercises you can do. Whether that's fixed dumbbells or something like an adjustable dumbbell, which are basically your 2 options, and they both have their own pros and cons. When it comes to fixed dumbbells, the first thing you're gonna notice is they take up a ton of space. They're also really expensive, as you can see from the fact that I'm missing a few pairs. And some of those down there might cost more than your barbell. So you really have to weigh whether that's worth it or not for you. But the trade-off would be is they're the quickest and most efficient when it comes to working out. I'm not swapping things out. I can just go do a drop set or superset and they're right there. Now, when it comes to my budget pick, I would pick something like the Amazon Basic Dumbbell. They're priced very competitively and they have very good reviews. As an upgrade from there, I would go with something like this, which is a Rep Fitness Rubber Hex Dumbbell. Now, it's gonna cost a little bit more because they have a lifetime warranty, they're fully knurled, and they have a different attachment system for the head. All those things add up to give you a little bit more of an expensive dumbbell. When it comes to an adjustable dumbbell, you're gonna get something that's much smaller in size, so it's obviously not gonna have this huge footprint. It's also gonna cost you a lot less money, though the trade-off's gonna be you're not gonna be able to go as high in a weight range. Most of them stop at 50 to 80 pounds. My budget pick for an adjustable dumbbell would be the Bowflex 552. At around $340 and going up to 50 pounds, it's gonna work for most people. If you want a bit of an upgrade from there, you can go to the Power Block Elite, and it's an upgrade in the fact that it can go up to 80 pounds depending which options you get. It's also one of the most highly rated adjustable dumbbells. Now that brings us to number 6, which are upgrades I'd put on my power rack. So if you were good and you followed my list, you probably already got yourself a power rack with a pull-up bar on it. And hopefully you got one, like I said before, that's modular so you can put things like a landmine or a dip attachment on it. So it wouldn't be a true number 6 if I didn't give you an item. And my choice for number 6 would be gymnast rings. And my choice for gymnast rings would be Rep Fitness's wooden gymnast rings. For about $50 shipped or less, depending on your options, you're able to get a piece of equipment that you can do a ton of stuff with. If you don't believe in the value of rings, just take a look at the physique of a world-class gymnast. Now you might be thinking, hey genius, where's your rings? And while you have a valid point, that's really hurtful. So I spent all my money on my garage gym, and I had a really great idea to start a YouTube channel so I could get more gear. And after 3 months, I've made exactly $0. But I'm hoping if I double that next month, I can finally get my rings. So if you want me to keep making videos for free for you, please hit the subscribe button to help my self-esteem. Which brings us to our final item, your flooring or your platform. Flooring is a 3-step process. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is lay out like an Instagram model so your video has that sex appeal and you get more subscribers. Then you wanna make sure you don't clean off the horse stall mat so when people are watching it, they see how gross your gym is. Third, you're gonna wanna drive yourself to Tractor Supply and buy horse stall mats like this, which are 3/4 of an inch by 4 foot by 6 foot. And if you need different sizes, you can cut them. It's a pain in the butt, but it's doable. Now, if you wanna get a platform, nobody should ever buy a platform. You can build these yourself. Anybody can do it. It's really simple. It's just sheets of plywood with horse stall mats and some polyurethane. Now let's address the elephant in the room, and that's cardio. Everybody knows real men don't do cardio. We just work out faster so we can look cool like that. Now, as stupid as that joke is, and the hardest part about it is talking afterwards, one of the first 7 things I would buy would not be a piece of cardio equipment. And that's nothing against cardio, I just don't think that it's something that you need that high on the list. Now, when I was in college, I was a Division I track athlete. And that's not to say, ooh, look at this guy. It's more to prove a point. When we were running and we were in the weight room lifting, we didn't have any cardio equipment to help us out. And that's because you can do a ton of cardio things without any equipment. Whether it's burpees or the world's worst thing, actually running or bodyweight exercises, there's a lot you can do, even if you just had something as simple as a jump rope. Now, when it comes to where to buy stuff, there are still a lot of options. Most people's number 1 priority is going to be looking online. It's convenient, it's fast, you don't have to do a ton of work for it. And now, because of COVID, a lot of these companies have expanded like Rogue and Rep Fitness, so they're making a lot of stuff. So don't just settle and get anything you can get. Try to get what you want to get if you can wait. The next thing I would check would be Craigslist. That way you get stabbed, but you get a pretty good deal. And even though Craigslist has died down quite a bit, there are still some people on there to get pretty good deals. Again, it's a little risky though. From there, I'd go to Facebook Marketplace, which has exploded in popularity, and it's a little harder to find deals because everybody's on there, but it is one of the places I would look. From there, I would get really creative. So a lot of my equipment, like my dumbbell racks or my cable machine, came from a gym that was closing. I know COVID's awful for everybody, but at least I was able to benefit a little bit and use some of that equipment for a really good deal. And I also got very creative, and I would call and talk to people I knew that used to lift or were into these kinds of things, and I was able to get some pretty good deals that way. So just don't give up and keep searching for those ideal items. I got weight plates and a lot of other things by really cranking out and researching and grinding to find the stuff I wanted, and I was able to get pretty much everything I wanted, and I built this entire gym during COVID. I started in April, and here we are now. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the bloopers. Okay, well, that took a while. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 10:22 a.m.
Wow, this joke's taking a while.